What is going on, guys? My name is Jay, and today I'm going to be bringing you a harder perfect Lichess puzzles run. Here you can see one of the best failed attempts I had, 1927. I think this was one of the first harder attempts I did. And the answer for this one is just absurd. So I had no idea what I was doing here. There's actually like 5 minutes of footage of me just like staring at this puzzle, having no idea what to do. So the idea with this one is that the white king can get back rank mated. So you actually want to just completely sack your queen here, which I don't do. So obviously I lose. But yeah, no, this was an extremely tough puzzle, as you can see, 2187. Funnily enough, something glitched in the actual run, which I'm obviously going to show after this. You can see I'm literally just trying random moves. But yeah, something like glitched or something, and I just kept getting like 1400, 1500-ish rated puzzles, which was really interesting. And then I'm about to randomly do the right move, which is pretty funny, because I just literally had no idea. And there it is. And you win a rook here. But yeah, pretty absurd. Anyway, get ready for the run, because honestly, it's kind of crazy how easy this was, which, is probably not what you expected me to say. But anyway, here it is. So starting off with a nice fork here to picking up the queen. This one, it's because you had two rooks versus that rook had one defender. Here we're going to move the knight and then take the rook, or he'll take our rook. So that was a free knight. Mate. So it's a little more interesting. You get a lot fewer checkmates and a lot more forks, I found, on harder, which is pretty cool. Because obviously checkmates are not very interesting, and forks are a lot more practical because, if you find a checkmate in a game, that's great, but more likely than not, you're just going to have like a fork like that. You can see I'm playing pretty quickly. I think I've definitely gotten faster at puzzles. I probably should have drawn arrows, honestly, but it's already, the video is already almost like an hour, so I don't know. Yeah, this is unaltered footage. Damn, I play fast. I mean, I'm not really trying to brag, but like, it's like crazy. It almost looks sped up. This is weird, but I promise you guys I did not do anything to it, so I don't know, we're just going ham. So yeah, and you can see like just now I did a really slow arrow, so like definitely, yeah, I didn't speed it up or anything. Okay, now I'm slowing down a little bit. I was like genuinely concerned, like, am I cheating? But I mean, obviously I'm not, but like, you know what I mean. So yeah, a lot of forks, a lot of like winning the queen. If you're ever confused, like, oh, why did he sack his queen? Probably there's a mate, or like they're obviously forked his king and queen, so it was better for him to take than not take. But like, that was a free bishop and a free rook, crazy. And we're about to hit 1,000. So this is one really nice thing about playing on a harder. Well, I guess there's only two harder difficulties. There's harder and hardest. But the nice thing about, obviously not playing one of the easier difficulties is that you typically get more points per puzzle. But like I said, something weird happened with this run. So I don't know. I'll check the rating of the next puzzle. But like 792, which is obviously lower than my current rating by like 300 points. But if you look at my setting, I did set it to harder. And you'll see the rating of the puzzles just jump up to like 1400 at some point. I forget exactly when it happens. It happens, like I said, at a pretty random point. But like you can see, we're not getting too many points because it's just giving me super easy puzzles, which is probably part of the reason why I'm playing so fast, because it's just like boom, boom. It's not difficult. And like usually, I mean, I guess I'm not as tired as usual, but like, I don't know, it feels like the puzzles are pretty easy. Here, just a free bishop, and then we'll probably pick up another. Oh, wow, look at that. Big combo. But then even this one is probably only rated like 800 or 700. Fuck. Yeah, so yeah, I really don't know why it wasn't giving me the right puzzles, but you know, my goal, whether the website works or not, was just to beat every difficulty. So at this point, with this run, I will have done that, which is nice. You know, you might dispute like, oh, well, the made in one run, like, yeah, it was hardest, but it was also made in one. But you know, if you feel that way, also here's 1111, kind of cool. If you really feel that way, I want you to try a made in one run and see what happens. I mean, really, that took me like 3 hours, literally like 3 hours. I know I sped up the footage on that one, but it was literally like a 3 hour run of playing perfectly. So, you know, if you guys don't think that counts, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not, obviously, unless something like this run happens again where it just gives me super low rated puzzles for no reason, there's just no way I'm going to be able to beat hardest. Like, I would literally just have to cheese it. And at that point, is that really any more impressive than, you know, doing however many hundreds of made in one puzzles perfectly in a row? I don't think so. Anyway, this is a mate, a little side row instead of back, side rank instead of back rank. Fork. This is mate-ish. Yep, there it is. This is a mate. This is a mate. So I guess I have to take back what I said earlier. We're getting a lot of checkmates, and a lot of checkmates in a row, which is something I've noticed with every difficulty. You do get a lot of... Oh, here you have to take the knight with the rook, because the pawn is pinned, so it's going to take me a bit to see that. Yeah, it does like to give you like the same type of puzzle like over and over again for some reason. No, don't take that queen. Thank you. That's another little trick I've learned to do with myself if I ever get stumped, is just to like right click my pieces and the enemy pieces, because what that does is it kind of draws your focus onto them, which can help you find tactics. Oh, and then there you had to obviously take the queen first. There were no special tricks. But yeah, you can see we're at 1200 after like 5 minutes. So even though on average the puzzles are pretty low rated, probably just because I'm playing pretty fast, and then also maybe the difficulty, it is going pretty quick. Also 36 times, getting a nice double digit puzzle here. Played 36 times. So this one might even be underrated, because we have a cool little boomerang tactic to win a pawn. Or no, we trade... Oh, okay, this one took me a while to find. You have to trade queens here, and then just push your pawn, and he can't... His king is not in time to stop your pawn. It's a little tricky, but nothing too hard. Like, don't go pawn hunting here, because when there are queens on the board, even if you take one or two of his pawns, usually he can find... Like, your opponent can find a series of checks to win those pawns back, or even, like, you know, win your queen, or do some really scary stuff. So when in doubt in a queen endgame, you probably want to trade, because it's spooky. Or check. You want to check or trade, so that's why I looked at checks first, and then here I finally find the idea. So, you know, it's not all going to be easy. And what was that one rated? I didn't see. This looks like a mate, probably. Yeah. And then, oh, and then take the pawn with the bishop, because when his knight takes, we have, and then we have queen e8. So that's going to take me a little bit to find, because that's pretty tricky. Okay, there you go. Yep. And that, yeah, 1450. Okay, and this is just the rating the puzzles stay at for the rest of the run. It's super weird. I genuinely don't know why this happened, but I mean, I'll take it. So here, that's another little thing I like to do. I don't do it too often, but just going back a move or two, sometimes the people playing the game knew the ideas, like especially if they're a little higher rated. Oh, and here you have to take the knight, which is going to take me a second to find. I was like, oh my gosh, no, yeah, just take the knight. So, and I'm about to hit 1400, which is cool, because even with the little clip at the beginning, we haven't even been playing for 10 minutes, which is kind of crazy. I don't know. I feel like that's fast. But maybe something I've been thinking about doing is like a speed run to 1500, right? So start at 400 and then just go to like 1500 or 1600 or whatever other arbitrary rating. Because I bet you could get like, you could probably get to 1500 in like 5 minutes, honestly. Because that run I showed you, the end of that run I showed you was only like 25 minutes long, even with the 5 minute think at the end, which means it took me like 20 minutes to get to over 1900, which is insane. And in fact, I bet with some good luck and then just also, being decent at puzzles, you could probably finish this challenge in under 30 minutes for like some probably normal difficulty. Easiest, it would just take too many puzzles, and then obviously harder, like, unless you're getting puzzles like this where they just don't really give you that many points, you're probably screwed. But anyway, yeah, I really don't know why we kept getting like 1400 rated puzzles. It's super weird. But this is a tricky one. What the heck is going on here? We have to win a pawn or something? This one, I remember kind of stumping me, because even looking at it now, I'm just kind of like, what? We can check the king a couple different ways, which we have 2 ways to fork the king and pawn. Oh, we're that. Shoot. Oh, nice find. Such an asshole talking to myself like that. But I mean, and look at this, 15:25, and we've been playing, like, this run has only been going for like 10 minutes, so yeah, 1500 in 10 minutes is definitely not hard. I wonder, that would be an interesting challenge, see how far I could get in 10 minutes. Also, if you ever see me going kind of crazy with the arrows, it's because like a good song comes up, and it's just my way of like dancing to it, sort of. So anyway, here's a queen trap. I think this is the first one we've had so far, so that's cool. Here you can just take the rook, because when he takes back, our king is in time. Here, probably a fork, but of course the rook can take, but that's okay. I think we just do it anyway, and we take back, and then we'll be equal, which is decent. Yeah. That's probably right. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thawing out some bread right now. I'm going to make myself some sandwiches, so I'll probably go over and check on the meat in like half an hour or so you guys make sure to remind me of that. There you go. I don't know if you guys like this more like long form content. Like, maybe I should be editing out some of the time when I think, but I think it's good for puzzles because it kind of lets me like do the puzzles again, at least in my head. This one's interesting. So we probably start with a check. Oh, and then just take the bishop's double attack. That's nice. Oh, and then actually you can just trade queens and then take with the rook, because now the queen's not defending the bishop. Here, I don't know, trade queens and then do something. Or is there a fork or something? Oh, there you go. Oh, I was like screaming when I saw this one, because it's the craziest thing. Oh my god. And 1400? I mean, I don't know. That's pretty tough. I don't know. I got it quickly, but it's kind of a tough puzzle. I don't know. It's kind of cool. So I like that one. Here, I think you take the knight and then fork the bishops. Yeah. And then just take. Almost at 1600. Pretty good. Obviously slowing down here, but you know. Here you have to be super precise because he's got 2 queens and 2 rooks. And we just have a queen and a rook, and then each of us has a bishop, of course. But yeah, if you don't checkmate here, you're getting blasted. So, and then you'll see sometimes if you make an arrow, like right as the next puzzle is loading, it'll do a completely different line on the next puzzle, which I guess maybe these are alternating between white and black, which would make sense, because then if you draw an arrow, say on like b7, then what it would do, I guess, is it would try to draw an arrow to b7, but then b7 would be on the opposite side of the board, and so then it makes this big long arrow. I don't know, kind of interesting. This one, wow, this one is super complex. A lot of piece happenings there. I know I just rambled through the whole thing, but that was a pretty interesting puzzle. I mean, the unfortunate thing with this run is, like I said, it just like glitched. I don't think I got anything. I don't even know if I got any 1500 puzzles, but I don't think I got anything over 1500 either. So, you know, obviously you get some kind of interesting ideas, but nothing more than like 3 or 4 moves, which I guess is, you know, like a normal, but I don't know. I don't know. So it's definitely a mixed bag of emotions with that. So yeah, here I didn't really know what was happening. I figured, I mean, obviously if we traded right now, like the queens and the rooks, just somehow they were gone from the board, he would be winning, right? Because he's got the 2 pawns over there. I think he would be winning. Actually, depends on whose turn it is, right? So there. No. Okay, so we could stop it. So maybe even black would be winning there. Yeah, here it's really important to play precisely. So I figured that kind of had to be the move because that was the only check. I don't know how much I actually solved this one, but I knew like, okay, probably eventually we win his rook because that's just how queens work. Like, you just keep checking until you're attacking the thing you want to attack, and then pretty much regardless of where he goes. Yeah, okay, so I even show you. Because our rook is attacking his rook, eventually we will win the rook. So that's how that one works. Here you have to sack the rook, which I think I find pretty quickly. Yeah. And I was shook when he didn't take. But yeah, it's still mate. So instead of taking the pawn, or not taking the pawn, well, your queen actually goes to the same place regardless, so it's kind of funny. Here, remove the defender and then take the bishop. Board's a big place. There you go. Here, we can fork a couple ways. So we can fork the knight and king with the bishop, of course, which also X-ray defends the rook. The main thing is you just don't want to lose your rook. So like if you take the knight right now, obviously it takes your rook. And you can't move your rook anywhere to attack right now. So first you want to start with a check. You want to make sure you do the right check though, because we actually have 2 checks. But obviously, no, we only have one good one because the other one would lose a rook. So yeah, you have to check, which protects the rook. Then he moves his king, and his king, oh wait, is that mate? No, it's not mate. He has 1 legal move, and then you move the rook, and then you take. Yeah, because it's double attack, so it doesn't matter that he's touching it with his king. Here's a palindrome rating. Pretty cool. Here's me showing you the palindrome. Means it is the same forwards or backwards. 1661. What? Oh, okay, yeah. Probably should have drawn the arrow. And then here you just have to realize don't take with a bishop, obviously, because you'd lose your knight. So, when in doubt, take. You can't take with the rook because our rook is pinned. This also attacks a rook, so, yeah, pretty good. And then we can take that in with 2 different pieces. Which one is better? I take with a bishop, but, oh, you have to take with a bishop because if you take with a king, it undefends the rook. So, yeah, this is a good, you know, we still get some pretty good puzzles here, even though they're relatively low rated. So hopefully you guys are getting something out of this. I don't know. Like I said, it just literally kept giving me 1,400 puzzles. And I think I do scroll down at some point just to show you, like, hey, I've been doing these in a row. Like, this is not, there's no editing magic or whatever. Oh, sack the rook for mate. Nice. Here you have to mate from behind. Yeah. And then probably, so check with the pawn and then, I don't know. That's probably the first move. Oh, and then it's the dovetail. Oh, nice. Blocked in by the pawn and rook. Here's me showing it off. Nice, protected by the pawn, of course. We're almost at 1,700. So here, of course, queen f3 is very natural, check. And then you just have to think, all right, where can you go? You can't go to h4 because of the pawn, so that means he can only go to h2 because we also cut off the diagonal. So he goes to h2, and then what? I forget what it was. Oh, you have to. Then you have to go queen f2 after that, which I think I find here. Because, yeah, finding that second move is kind of tough, which I've said before, too. Finding the first move often jumps out at you, and then the second move, here's the follow-up. And the reason this works is because it's just me. 1, 2, 3, yeah. There's 1700. So we can take the queen and then push the pawn, which would defend the rook, which is good. And then we're probably going to make a queen. I don't think he can really stop us. Yeah. And then here I take a little bit to confirm after this move because that's the most obvious thing in the world. Yeah, here you have to calculate this, and then don't come back with your rook because when he takes and you take, he's going to go take your pawn with his king, and then he'll have a knight and you won't. So you need to save the pawn, which is why when he checks you, and you will, you have to play king f2. So don't come back with the rook, because otherwise you lose the pawn, and that pawn is the only reason this position is winning, honestly. So, and there you go. Yeah. So here, really only one good check. I think the next move is more interesting, though, because it uses the pen. Yeah, and then he's going to block with the queen, and then we just take the queen because the bishop is hitting the pawn to the king. So you'll see boom, boom, and when we take, he can't take back because of the bishop. So, pretty nice. Here's a really obvious one. King and queen are lined up like that, so attack them with a rook. That should, if that's not second nature to you now, it should be that. Like, it should become second nature. You should practice this pattern, because this happens all the time. And it's good to look out for. And obviously the rook was protected there, so that was nice. Wouldn't have worked otherwise, but yeah, here I'm looking for a way to trap the queen. G4 is not the move, which I realize. He has a H4 as an escape square. So how else can we do it? Maybe it's not a queen trap. Is the queen protecting anything? Do we have to sack the pawn? I kind of doubt that. Oh, you play G4. You're not trapping the queen. You're going to take on, yeah, because it's protected by the knight. And now we've got some back rake shenanigans. So before any of that happens, he is going to sacrifice his queen after we play G4. Yeah. And he does it by taking the knight, because that's the most powerful piece he could have taken. So that makes sense. Here, don't take the knight. You just want to check the king. What is that? F4. Obviously, he's going to take, but when he does that, well, he had to do that, or he had to do something because he was in check. And so then, because your rook is now looking at his rook, you get a free rook. Nice discovered attack, that's what they call it. Here, you just take the bishop and then take the knight. And of course, two pieces are better than a rook, so that's considered winning. Here, this is the same as the other one. You see how the king and queen are lined up like that. Doesn't matter that our queen can take his queen. We don't want to take his queen with our queen, because that's just a queen trade. And it's going to take me a little bit to find it. But, yeah, this the same idea as before. Move the rook to a protected square where it can see the queen, and then the king is behind it, or vice versa, obviously. And then you win. So, oh, okay, I did it good. Looked at my phone, sorry. Take the rook and take the rook. And of course, you want to take the rook with check first. When in doubt, you're like, oh, both these moves look good. Probably just play the one that's check, because of course they have to reply to a check. If it's not check, they might do something. But of course, if it's check, they have to do something. And then I don't know why this is included. Like, yeah, obviously take the pawn. I don't, not much to think about there. So here, you might recognize it. It's our old friend, the Penaruni. Yeah. Protected by the queen and the knight. And yeah, I was just like, oh, really? This again? And yeah, it was that again. So yeah, obvious first move. And here I was just thinking, like, and the reason this one took me so long is because I saw how many pawns he had, and I was like, okay, well, if I lose either my bishop or my rook, then that's probably bad, right? So, like, if I just take here, I was like, oh man, that could be bad. However, there's no good way, there's no, like, sneaky way to get the rook for free here. So winning the exchange is still good here, because obviously you have a rook against a bunch of pawns, but your king is active, and realistically he only has 2 good pawns, and a king and 2 good pawns versus a rook, when your king is this active, I guess, is winning, but I think a lot of people would have trouble winning this endgame, honestly, which is why I was, again, just not very confident about it, because I was like, oh, this almost seems losing. Should probably put it in table base, honestly. That seems like an interesting one to watch. It's probably like mate in 40 or something ridiculous. So here we have a nice end game. Oh, something else I should mention. So obviously I'm going to upload. Oh, and then here I didn't see en passant, which I was very sad about. I eventually saw it, obviously. But the reason he can't just push his pawn like that is, of course, en passant. And I think the engine tries it anyway, but yeah, once your pawn gets that, once you en passant him, your pawn is so far advanced, there's just no way he can stop you. So, and also, it's an endgame, so trade your major pieces, because that's just how puzzles work, typically. Like, everything below 2300, basically, it's just trade major pieces and then do the right king and pawn moves. Here's that. Yeah, I found en passant. Good. So I just go win his pawn and then push my pawn. Very simple. So here, mate in 1. Not the hardest thing in the world. Mate in 2. No. Maybe. Oh. Yeah, mate in 2. Good. A lot of 7s. That's lucky. Or something. We're almost halfway through, which is crazy because I'm at like 1800, so I really slow down at the end. Even though the puzzles don't actually get any harder, I just got more careful and frankly just more nervous, because obviously when you get this close, you don't want to mess it up. But yeah, oh, okay, that's incredibly simple. So yeah, I pretty much don't rush with any of the moves from this point forward, just because it would be kind of dumb. Like, it's not worth ruining the run just to show off, like, oh, I'm so fast. So here you take the pawn because it sets up the mate, so he's going to sack his queen. And once he sacks his queen, you know, you should be good. Good, yeah. Here he's up a knight, but it doesn't matter because our king is nice and active. Oh yeah, you should always check those kind of crazy looking pawn moves, because the thing is, if you sacrifice 1 or 2 pawns, but another of your pawns becomes a queen, then it doesn't matter that you sacked 1 or 2 pawns. So that's why I always check those pawn sacrifices in endgames, even if they make no sense, or seem to make no sense. And yeah, he just has no way of protecting that pawn, and then we have a bunch of passed pawns. So yeah, 1800 at sub 30 minutes. Not too shabby, which means it took me 30 minutes to get like 200 more points, but oh well, you know, like I said, nerves and just playing carefully. So this one's pretty interesting. It's like a kind of back rank mate. I don't think you actually get to mate, but you do win some material, which is good. Oh yeah, no, this one's crazy actually, because you look at that, 5 move combination, 1400. I mean, and it was not the easiest combination in the world. I don't know. So some of these are probably a little underrated, but still not a super hard challenge. This one, it's interesting. I found it like immediately, but I just had to remember that obviously when I take his rook will be there instead, so his king doesn't actually protect, or like it can't protect it when he moves it. So here, probably just checkmate, back rank, nonsense. This is another good pattern to know. When his king is like right there, you want to push it back with the bishop and then go in with the rook or the queen or whatever you have, because otherwise you can't really get to the back rank. Like you can't smush him in as well. So you want to give him a smush and then go to the back rank. So free pawn here. That's cool. Oh, and free knight. Cool. Deflect the defender or whatever it's called. Free rook. I like that. My rook's defended. It's also check. So that's probably good. And it's also mate because dovetail. So that's cool. Here we can check a couple of ways. We want to do it in such a way, where we attack that pawn. Because obviously we need to mate him. Otherwise, we're just checking for no reason. In this case. Here, a lot of stuff on the board. Let's see. Oh. Free. Oh. Wow. Wow. Oh, I found that really fast. I mean, yeah. And so obviously he doesn't want to get mated, so he takes with the rook. And then we win a knight. Wow. Pretty cool. So, you know, like I said, still some cool puzzles here and there. Like this, you know, nice little back rank. It doesn't look like it, but the bishop helps there, which is cool. Let's see. So that's just the first move I look at. So the reason you don't want to take with the queen here is because A, it's not check. But B, for whatever reason, I guess there's like a mate or something, so he will sack his queen, which I probably should have analyzed this one, because it's he just sacks the queen for the knight. Like, I mean, I'm sure he had to, but I was very surprised. Like, oh, that's really it. Like this one, I totally guessed. I was like, yeah, it's check, you know. So don't give up hope. Also, I mean, like this kind of puzzle, honestly. I mean, maybe I'm stupid, or maybe I'm just missing something easy, but this is the type of one where I knew, like, even if I sit here and think about it for 5 minutes, I'm still gonna play the same move, and just be like more confused about it, or I'll play the wrong move because I talked myself out of the right move. Like this one, I knew the right move was knight takes bishop just on instinct. I didn't do any calculation. I just knew, like, yeah, he'll probably sack his queen or something stupid. Which, like, yeah, I couldn't tell you what the mate is. Probably like mate in 8 or some nonsense. But yeah. Here we got the bishops teaming up. And here I was kind of shook. Again, yeah, I was expecting them to go to the corner, which obviously looking at it, like, that makes no sense. So here, pretty cool idea. So don't do the bishop first, because he can check you, and then, like, you're not winning anything. If you check him, it forces him into getting forked after you move the bishop, which is pretty cool. It's also check, of course, so he has to respond. And then the other bishop pretty much forced him to take the pawn there. So here we got back rank shenanigans. Well, kind of. Actually, that was just a fork. 2 rooks against 2 rooks. Oh, he has a bishop, so yeah. If we win that bishop, I guess it's winning. I mean, we have pawns on both sides, so maybe that helps. Here, don't push the pawn, because then you both make queens, but actually only he makes a queen because he's faster. So, and then he cannot catch up to your pawn, so you just go stop his pawn and then push your pawn. Here, oh yeah, wow, I found that pretty good. Yep. We have 2-on-1 there. Yep. So this wins a knight, which is pretty cool. Let's see. There you go. Boom, boom. What is this? Alright. Oh, this one, yeah. So you can see my instincts have definitely gotten better. Yeah, here the queen is pinned, so we end up winning it, which is pretty brutal. Here, I think we trapped the queen. Just looking at it. Yeah, there it is. Cut off the files, knight's protected, etc., etc. I mean, you know, honestly, these puzzles are just not that tough, which is funny looking at the difficulty. But yeah, I mean, it's true. I got really lucky. And probably what it is I've been using the same account for all of my failed runs. I bet, like, it might not even be my ELO, like the ELO that shows up on the page. I wonder if, like, my MMR or whatever Lichess uses is just completely bonkers now. Or if I've just done, like, most of the puzzles that exist. Because honestly, at this point, I have done thousands. In fact, let me check. Because I'm curious. I wonder how many puzzles I've actually done. So we'll go to my profile. I'm probably about to scream. Oh my god. Okay, so I do over 3,000 puzzles a day. That is disgusting. Now, you know, a lot of losses, which are pretty much automated. I do a little, because obviously losing puzzles manually is very tedious. I have a little script I run that'll just go and lose a bunch of puzzles until I go down to 400 again. So probably closer to, like, you know, 2,000 puzzles a day or something, but still disgusting. Like, yeah, yesterday, 5,000 puzzles with 3,000 wins. So actually, that's 3,000 like genuine puzzles I did, which is pretty insane. And some of the losses are probably mine, but not too many, obviously. And yeah, I mean, it says 74,000 puzzles on this account. I'm sure it's probably closer to like half of that, or possibly less. I mean, probably a little bit more realistically, but yeah, this account might honestly be like throwing it off, which I'm not gonna like make a new account for every category, obviously, or like even every 10 attempts you better make a new account. Like, no, I'm just gonna let the account get really wonky, and then maybe I'll be able to cheese hardest. So now you guys know. Here's a cool end game, a lot going on here. Yeah, I totally rambled through that, but yeah, that one you had to be very, very careful. Like this whole puzzle, you have to do a lot of counting and like actually play a genuinely good end game. And it's 1,400. Doesn't even matter. A fork that wins in 2 moves? Oh yeah, 1,400. An end game that takes you like 10 perfect moves to win? Oh yeah, 1,400. So some of these are probably a little off in the rating. But oh well. Win a queen and then you win a knight as well, which is cool. So probably when I hit 1,900, I'm gonna go check on the meat, see if it's thawed. Also nice, cool ladder mate here. He's not even at the back rank, but it's still a ladder because the king puts in so much work here, which is cool. Here, and so fork. So take the rook with the queen, which looks insane, but then you fork immediately afterwards, so you end up just winning a rook, which is pretty cool. So, yep, there he goes. Here, getting real close. Yeah, and here I slow down even more because there's like 20 minutes left. Dear God. Alright. Yeah, probably like 1950 to 2000 is the slowest even. I wouldn't be surprised if I get even slower. Okay, this pretty easily wins a bishop. He has no way to defend it. It can't run away because that would put him in check. So, pretty clean. Yep, just take that. Yeah, 1,900. Alright, I'm gonna go check on the meat and then probably take out the trash. So, I will come back. Don't you worry, guys. There's not a whole lot to say. I know these ones are theoretically better. Like this one I thought was pretty cool too. Actually, you have to just totally commit to stopping that pawn because it's so close. And even though the other one gets really close, his king is too far away. So if he pushes the pawn there afterwards, your king goes back and it's in time. 1910, nice. Oh shoot. Okay, let me check. I gotta check Pokemon Go. I'm trying to get a Sylveon right now because I'm level 41 and I have to get all the evolutions again, which is so obnoxious. I already did the nickname trick, obviously, so that sucks. I guess I should be giving better commentary, but I mean, you guys can see the screen. I don't know. Oh. Okay, cool. It looks like the thing went through, which is good. Wait, I only have 18 hearts? It's messed up. Oh, I guess it's like not in a frenzy or whatever anymore. That's annoying. Alright, remind me to feed my Eevee in like an hour so I can try to get some more hearts for today. 1917. Oh yeah, I gotta check on the meat, guys. But, oh yeah, push the pawn and then you have to check with the... No, don't check with the knight because the bishop, which I'll see. You have to check with the queen, I guess. There's the check. Okay. Alright, I'll be back. Ugh. Man, that chicken is still super frozen. What's going on here? Oh, right, this one's kind of neat. So, he's about to discovered attack your queen, but it doesn't even matter, because he can't protect the bishop. He doesn't have time. Here I was really considering sacking the rook first, but no, it's just a free pawn. Because of course his pawn is pinned right now. The reason the rook sack doesn't work is because he'll block with his queen after you check with your queen. So yeah, just take the pawn here, just a free pawn. And that's kind of the whole thing. Oh, and then also a free bishop because he moved his rook for some reason. He could have just kept them like that forever. Oh no, because we were threatening, not a checkmate per se, but we were threatening nasty stuff with the rook and the bishop. And then I think that puzzle was also rated like 1400. Nonsense. Because that was pretty tricky. I don't know. Take a knight. Oh yeah, so here he can take your rook. So how about we move the rook to literally the only good square. And then when he takes our pawn, we will be double attacking his knight, and he'll only be singly defending it. So that's that one. I gotta take the trash out, guys. Alright, everyone, what did I miss? Oh, not even 1950 yet. Very sad. So here you have to take the queen, of course. We don't have any checks or anything. And you can't just let him run around with 2 queens forever. And then you end up winning the other queen because your rook is protected, which is pretty gross. So yeah, that's the whole thing. It's just, you take all his queens, he takes all your queens, but you took 2 queens, he took 1. And we've got just other pieces. We have more rooks. I think that's it, actually. We just have 1 more rook, so that's why that works. Here it's a mate, surprisingly. This is a mate in 1. There it is. And then I'm just double, triple checking, because of course, sometimes mate in 1s are deceptive. But no, that's a mate in 1 at 1947 on harder difficulty. For this one, oh yeah, checkmate him good. Ooh, that's nasty. Man, 3 points? Come on, that was nice. I don't know. Whatever. What do I know? This is mate in 2, bring in the rook, and then shibbity-doo. You can mate with the rook or queen here, can't you? I think you can. I choose the queen because I like to be up in their face with the queen. Makes me feel safer. Like, oh yeah, you know, that's gotta be mate. I mean, they're both mate. Here's mate in 1 again. That's what I mean. Like, just a bunch of mates in a row for no reason. Here's, what is this? Oh, right. So you fork, kind of? I don't know if that's the right... Oh, no. Checkmate. Mate in 2. Here it is. Yep. Because the queen has the diagonal covered, so he has to go back there like a sad little king. We're at, what, 1960? 1962. Could be people watching this video that were born in 1962, or earlier, frankly. Kind of nuts when you start getting into, like, quote-unquote real years, where, like, people who are alive right now were just, like, doing stuff, living their lives. So this one I didn't really understand, I'll be honest. I did not see the 3rd move, rather. So the 3rd move, you have to move the knight to where the rook was, which I don't even see, but I just kind of guess for the first 2 moves, like, it's got to be this. The 3rd move is forking the king and rook, and that's why this whole sequence works. Otherwise, it is a pretty dead equal position. Maybe slightly better for white because his pawns are more connected. Oh, and doesn't he have a... Yeah, he has an extra pawn on us. So I guess it's important to find this trick, winning the exchange. Like I said, I literally just did not see the 3rd move here. And then it just fell into my lap when we played the first 2 moves, which was quite nice. And admittedly, there weren't really any other good candidates, so I'm not surprised I did this. But, yeah, this is kind of what I mean. Like, it would have taken me a billion years to find the fork from a distance. Sometimes you just got to play it out and see what happens, you know? Just not how you should be thinking. And you can probably even see the fork at this point, yeah. But, yeah, I did not see that from all the way back there, which is not good. Check, and then... What? Oh, checkmate, dovetail. King protects. Nice. He takes. We make him take our knight, and then you show him who's boss. I thought this one was kind of cool, too. You know, making him take the knight so we can mate him. It's kind of neat. I don't know. We can take a pawn. Actually, that's literally the move, isn't it? I think so, right? Because you take the pawn, and the idea is like, ooh, I'm gonna... Oh, no, it just made 1. Okay. Okay, shows you what I know. Take the rook, take the bishop. Literally all you have. And then, obviously, go for the pawn. And all the pawns, technically, but that one first, because it's all isolated and slightly dangerous. So we just gotta go get it. Get our king centered. Here, we can just fork. Very easy. Protected by the knight. So you can take it with a bishop, and then we take... It actually does something super crazy that I did not see coming once we do that. I literally remember it. Look at that. Who does that? Get out of here. I mean, yeah, it's like the same. And in fact, I probably wins 2 pawn. No, just wins a pawn. So I guess that's good for him, but kind of a wonky looking move. Like, yeah, it's a fork, but not a good one. Oh my, whoa! Played that at lightning speed. Also 1980. Again, just like real years where people I know existed. Crazy. What is this? Oh yeah, this one was tricky. Oh, this is like the coolest one, actually. And here you can see I'm showing you, like, this is all one run. Yeah, this is like the trickiest puzzle ever, like genuinely. So first you fork the queen and bishop on c1 with the knight. And now I know what you're thinking. Okay, well, doesn't he just move his queen to protect the bishop? If he does that, his queen is overloaded. And that's the best part. So then if you take the bishop, he'll take back, and then you take the rook, because his queen moved away from defending the rook. This one takes me a while to see. I'm actually going to take out more trash. But yeah, that's the idea. So you'll see it when I play it. It's pretty crazy. This was probably my favorite puzzle, and I'm kind of happy it showed up at the end, because, man, what a crazy way to basically end the run. The rest of the run is not that interesting after this one. But yeah, this puzzle was nuts. I love that idea. I don't know. Super cool. Did I figure it out? No, still thinking about it. Like I said, this one was tricky. My goodness. We get the full unedited thing here. Beautiful. Hope I didn't get any calls or anything during this video. That'll be embarrassing. I don't think I did. I can't remember. I probably didn't have to tab out. I don't know. You guys can tell me if I left anything in, and then I'll go back and edit it. But, well, I found the idea. And I did not see that move coming. But you win the bishop instead of winning the rook, so it's not too bad. Yeah, pretty crazy puzzle for a 1453. That is nuts. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yep. You force him into the fork. Very nice. Take the rook and fork, because that'll make his king move to the forking spot. So again, you know, two in a row where it's move his king to the forking spot. Boom, boom. We're almost at 2,000. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Don't take the pawn over there. That's terrible. Yeah, just go protect your pawn so he can never take it, and then promote it. What's he going to do about it? Here you have to find the right discovered attack. Wow, I found it instantly. The reason this is it is because obviously if he takes your bishop, we have mate with the queen and rook. And if he takes your rook, which he did, then you have queen and bishop, which is pretty nice. What is this? What is this? Back. Oh, you fork, and then he attacks your rook. You take his rook, he takes your rook. But we have checkmate ideas. So then our pawns, we're going to have 2 connected pawns. But not super clear. Honestly, not a huge fan of this puzzle. I think it's a little too abstract. And like, yeah, I might play this in a game, but like, I don't know. I just wouldn't be convinced I was winning. But apparently the computer likes it. I mean, it likes it enough for it to be a puzzle at least. So yeah, I'm looking for like literally anything else, because I'm just like, that's just a trade of rooks. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, the pawn gets good, but yeah, I don't know. Pretty out there. And then yeah, just double checking, but I mean that's literally all we got. I don't know. When in doubt, take. So yep. All right, almost 2,000. Let's go. So here, remember what I said about forcing him into the forking spot? When you check him, his king has nowhere to run, so he has to take, and then you fork. And then I think this puzzle actually puts me at 2,000 exactly, if I remember correctly. Yup, there it is. Queen fork to get 2,000. So yeah, I have no idea what was going on with the ratings this time, guys. You know, if there's any way to either make that happen every time or make that never happen, that would be great, because obviously, you know, it only seems fair. Like, if I get to cheese harder, everyone else should. Or, you know, if there's a way to avoid that happening, I think that would be good. But yeah, I have no idea what happened with this run. I'm pretty happy about it, obviously. Because not obviously, but I've done dozens of attempts of like every difficulty, but especially harder. I've done so many attempts. I was originally doing opening, which is just like a category of puzzle, because I was like, oh, if it's the opening, you know, there's only so many different ways they can play the first 10 or 15 moves, so you don't have to do any in-game shenanigans or whatever. But that never really worked out, so I'm really happy I got this run. I'll probably try to cheese hardest as well, just so that I'll have like every difficulty properly done, somewhat. I mean, you know. And then here, I think I mess up. It's not mate in 1, but I was like the dumbest follow-up anyway. Well, that's the video. Like, subscribe, whatever. See ya.